if you carefully watch well, you can follow me and count. You will see that we have one, two, three, four, two pointing up. That's four pairs of walking legs, which totals eight. But when you look around here, you will see there are one, two, three. We are seeing only one-sided, that three, which means there is another three there. So this housefly have three pairs of walking legs, which makes it six. Remember, three pairs means six. We are only seeing one, two, three on this side. That means the other side, which is not clearly shown here, will also have three. Here we just have two distinct body divisions, nothing but just the head fused with the thorax, known as cephalothorax, and then the abdomen.
To form ball and socket joint. As you can see, this is actually the skeleton of a rabbit. So you see the head of the humerus of a rabbit articulating with the glenoid cavity, and you can also see the coracoid process beside the glenoid cavity, and this forms ball and socket joint, which allows 360 degrees movement.
Welcome to the Majestic Tutorials. In this video, I'll be handling the specimen, the NECO specimen for this biology practical for NECO. I'll give you the highlights, the rundown of the specimen provided, and then I'll handle each specimen one after the other, getting them in details. Your job is to make sure to subscribe and ask your questions where necessary. You are at the right place. For you to visit here means you are going to be a blessing to us, and I assure you we will be a blessing to you. I will try my best to serve you. So the list of the specimen are: number one, specimen A is housefly, specimen B is spider, specimen C is pride of Barbados flower, specimen D is bean seed, specimen E is butterfly. As you can see them all behind me. Then specimen F is crayfish, then specimen G is grasshopper. So you see that this list of specimen focused mainly on the arthropods. So you will concern yourself well with the arthropods, meaning those that have jointed appendages. We have seen insects, insecta, and we have also seen the acrostacea, which is the crayfish. Remember that crayfish is not a fish, even though the name get fish for inside them. So no be say if you hear fish, you think say na fish. Somebody go be like, crayfish is now what? Is it cray meat? No. Crayfish is a crustacean belonging to the arthropods. It's an invertebrate, but what we call fish in biology should be a vertebrate. At least there should be backbone. All right. So as I go down, so it means there are many insects here. I have seen spider, which is now an arachnid, not an insect. Now I've seen a crayfish, which is now a crustacean, all still in the phylum Arthropoda. Sorry. So we go down. We also have after the crayfish, we have specimen G, the grasshopper. The specimen E is the humerus of a rabbit. We are now into anatomy. Then specimen I is femur of rabbit. Femur, some might call it femur, but whichever one you decide to call, it is still allowed. So femur is there. Then we have the orange fruits. Then we have honeybee, the enemy we have, and also our good friend. The only group of animal that provide food for man is a food manufacturing industry for man. That's the only animal that produces food that is consumed by man. Remember, every other thing man consumes depends on the plant production. But this one, they produce honey for us to lick for drug and many other uses. So thumbs up to honeybee, but they are also our enemies, especially the killer bee. They don't go kill us actually. We are going to kill it down in this exam. All right, we move to land snail, maybe giant land snail. They are Chatina species. Then the guava fruit, the Irish potato tuber, and sweet potato tuber. So the whole specimen is focused on classification, and under that arthropods, like I've said. And then it also focused on fruits, then flower, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Then fruit is there. You can now see anatomy for mammal. That's the skeleton of mammal. They brought just parts of the appendicular skeleton, which are the humerus and the femur. So remember, femur is the longest bone in man, but not in rabbit. In rabbit, the tibia should be the longest bone. That's a fact. All right. Now, remember, there will be a live stream where I'll teach you how to draw all these specimens and entertain your question just a day before the final exam, where I'll open some of the secrets and clear your confusions. What you're going to do for me is make sure say you subscribe so that your ear go open where anytime I start, YouTube go notify you. And the live stream is going to happen here live at the Majestic Tutorial. I want to use this opportunity to say, now well done. No. And I thank you for helping me reach this 1K subscribers. Do you know what? I can now live stream in this my brand new channel. So thank you. God bless you all. Let's do more. Remember, my other channel, Sa Majesty's World Science channel, is there to focus on science experiments. So maybe if you're looking for what you can present during graduation ceremony for these SS3 students, you can go to my channel and make a choice. There are many scientific experiments you can demonstrate for your parents, for the parents, for the visitors. They will know that at least your students worth something. All right, so these are the things we should do to increase the interest of our people on science. How are we going to treat this specimen I've just called out now? We will start with at least, you see that number 1. But the headings I will be discussing each one, I organized it. There will be scientific name of each specimen, then the phylum. I won't run down the whole classification, but I will make sure I'll give you the phylum, the class, and the order possibly. So genus is what we skip here, but immediately I mentioned scientific name, I've called exactly the genus name and the species name. Okay, but family is what we're going to skip here. Then I'll tell you the economic importance of each of the specimen, then the adaptive features of each of the specimen, then the habitats where they are found, then the mode of feeding where applicable, then the type of fruit where applicable. Which type of fruit is this? Then give reason for answer. The type of storage organ, because we have the tubers there. Then the control measures where applicable, like some of the insects that might constitute pests or become a problem to humanity or the existence of life. How do we control it? Then types of metamorphosis involved, because we have many arthropods here, many invertebrates that undergo gradual changes. Then the type of flower, the agent of pollination for that of pride of Barbados. So there are other things I will discuss, but these are the basic rundown. So I'm going to pick our number 1 man, which is the housefly. Housefly over there. I want you to look at these 2 men now. Close to me, you see the spider is so I think the housefly here, and then the spider is here. But let me change the 2 now. Okay, here housefly is now here, and the spider is now here. If you watch well, this is specimen A and this is specimen B. If you carefully watch well, you can follow me and count. You will see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 pointing up. That's 4 pairs of walking legs, which totals 8. But when you look around here, you will see there are 1, 2, 3. We are seeing only one-sided, that 3, which means there is another 3 there. So this housefly have 3 pairs of walking legs, which makes it 6. Remember, 3 pairs means 6. We are only seeing 1, 2, 3 on this side. That means the other side, which is not clearly shown here, will also have 3. So you can now see the difference between these 2. You expect them to compare the 2. And again, not only these 2, you might also be told to compare the spider over here with any other insects like the grasshopper, the butterfly. So you should be prepared to entertain this type of question. All right. And then if you look well here, there is antenna, pair of antenna. Over here, there is nothing like what? Antenna. So then if you look at this very, very well, this housefly, we have 3 distinct body divisions. We have the head, the thorax, and abdomen. But over here, we just have 2 distinct body divisions. Nothing but just the head fused with the thorax, known as cephalothorax, and then the abdomen. So 2 body division, 3 body division. But what is common among all of them, they are all arthropods. They have jointed appendages. Can't you see how the leg is joined somehow? Join. This one, you join me, I join you. We keep moving, all right? So let me start. A housefly. What is the scientific name of housefly? Because it's in house, and house is domestic, our home. So we call it Musca domestica. So the scientific name of housefly is Musca domestica. Then what's the phylum? Arthropoda. So what's the class? insecta. Then what is the order? Diptera. Di means two wings. Diptera. So the order to which it belongs under the class Insecta is Diptera, meaning it has a pair of wings, single pair of functional wings, which is the characteristics of what we call Diptera. Remember, pterygots or pterygota are the group of insects that have wings. Then those wingless insects are called the pterygota. So this one that have wing now, the ptery here, Pter here, terra stands for wing. Yeah. So Diptera is the other. Reason is because possesses a single pair of functional wings, which is the characteristics of Diptera. Now, what are the economic importance of this housefly? At least number one, it transmits diseases such as cholera and also typhoid. It can be an agent that transmits the parasites that causes cholera and also typhoid. Then it contaminates food and our cooking utensils. You know, it makes our environment filthy. Of course, it's disgusting when they are filled everywhere in our living room or in our kitchen. And again, it of course reduces hygiene in homes and eateries. Nobody will want to entertain this housefly, even though they seem harmless, but they are still harmful since they do what? Contaminate our food and act as vectors that transmit the parasite that causes typhoid and also cholera. Now, the adaptive features. Remember, when they give you adaptive features, you mention a structure and tell us the function of the structure you mentioned. That will be good enough. Remember that they have to match for you to score. You cannot say presence of head for walking. No, these organisms don't use head for walking. Rather, they use jointed legs for walking. Okay, adaptive features of housefly should be similar with that of grasshopper, with that of butterfly. They have general similarity because they are arthropods and again, they are insects. So number one, if you don't remember what is so specific about this particular housefly, you can generalize for arthropods or generalize for insects. At least presence of exoskeleton for protection. Then it also have a presence of a pair of antenna for sensation or as a tactile organ that is sensitive to touch. Wey be say if you touch am, you go know say you don touch am. So if you touch am, you go just shake. The Gen Zs, e get swag wey dey do anyhow. So we look at another adaptive feature is that it has a have I mentioned about three pairs of walking leg? Yes, have three pairs of jointed legs for walking. Then bringing it down to housefly only, we say presence of sponging mouth parts. So the type of mouth part present in housefly is sponging, like you are licking. It feeds on fluid, so it's a fluid feeder. So sponging mouth parts for feeding on liquids or fluids. So that is it for the adaptative features. Then compound eyes for wide vision and sticky foot pads for walking on surfaces. So these are the adaptive features that you can find for housefly. Now, what is the habitat of housefly? Warning, abeg, no come talk say the habitat of housefly na terrestrial habitat. Wetin that one come mean? It's terrestrial, but you have to be specific. Don't be too broad when you are discussing this habitat. So you need to tell us in human settlement, like where humans live. Do you understand me now? And dirty areas. We have also refuse dumps and where we can find our homes or domestic, let's say in our homes, we find it there. Whether you are clean or not, housefly will be there. But for them to gather too much means you are dirty. So they are found in dirty areas, filthy area where there is contamination by feces or any decaying organic matter. These are the places. So you better just say what? Dirty areas, refuse dump. You understand me now? Then human settlements, that's where they are found. Then what's the mode of feeding? I've told you have a spongy mouth part, of course, and it leaks, and we find it more on dead decaying organic matter. So it is heterotrophic, but we might be more specific to say that it is saprophytic if it's on decaying matter. That's why we talk about refuse dump. Then what are the control measures? When you know that this can be disturbing, though it doesn't bite or sting, rather it does sponging. Sometimes it's not too good. So how do you do it? Proper sanitation. You keep your environment clean. to keep it away, to keep those things that lure them close to your house. Yes. Then another one is use of insecticide, then covering your food and disposing of waste properly. You cover your food, cover it tightly, dispose of waste properly. Not when you bring it, you keep it the same place you are. So it's not the best. Then what is the type of metamorphosis that we observe in housefly? There is complete metamorphosis in housefly, meaning it moves from egg to larva, larva to pupa, pupa to adult. That is complete metamorphosis. I don't know the name, whether we call complete hemimetabolous or holometabolous. All I know is that one of them, it is either hemimetabolous or holometabolous, another name in case they use another grammar. Then acetabulous is without metamorphosis, but there is metamorphosis in housefly, and the type is what? Complete metamorphosis. We will see other specimen provided that will have incomplete what? Metamorphosis. Now remember, what's metamorphosis? Is actually the gradual change in life forms from the egg or immediately after fertilization until adulthood. The gradual change, some might restrict it to insects, no problem. The gradual change in the different stages of development in some arthropods or pronounced in some insects, and I think amphibians can have small metamorphosis from the egg stage to what? Adulthood. Now we go to the next specimen, spider. Specimen B, spider, you know, commonly by the Spider-Man, that TV show or TV series, Spider-Man. He is here. So, you know how he uses the web, the spinnerets, to produce cobweb and use it and draw. Wow, that's imagination. But here, it is real. Spider produces those things, and this is giving us a clue on the economic importance. So, when we say economic importance or economic importance, don't mind my accent, we dey yarn say the thing wey better for that thing wey we dey see, the thing wey good, the thing wey bad, nothing wey no get gbege wey bad. These things wey we get, even you sef, you get the bad aspect of yourself. Maybe you come learn things, you forget am, you no like am. So this is the bad aspect of you. So when we say economic importance, e come include both the things wey dey good and the things wey no dey good for that particular specimen wey we dey study. So what if I only know the thing wey dey good? I go mention am now. If I no know anything wey dey good about that thing, I go mention bad ones, no problem. But just know say economic importance means both the bad one and the good one. So you dey see am now. So from the cobweb we have at home, it actually makes our home unkept. It's a kind of at the crevice, you see it is always cobwebbing, and the windows, so it makes it unclean and the house looks unkept and untidy. Okay, so but we come down to start with the scientific name. You can call it Arrhenius species. Arrhenius species. There are many other species that we just call SPP. Of course, it's in the same phylum with housefly, which is Arthropoda. Why? Because both have jointed appendages. Arthra, joint, pod, leg. Simple, literally. Arthropod means jointed leg. Then class is Arachnida. It is no more in the same class with housefly. Flashback in the beginning where I compared them all. So you should be able to distinguish arachnids from insects. Remember, you might be told to distinguish between the spider and the grasshopper, the butterfly. You still say the same thing I said when I compared it with housefly, because grasshopper and butterfly are all what? Insects, but the spider is an arachnid. So the class is Arachnida. Then the other is Arania. Then reason for classifying this is that it has two body segments, that's two body divisions, and 8 working legs, which is typical of the arachnids. Just like ticks are relatives of this spider. Then what are the economic importance? Like I've said the other time, you say it is actually source of silk for some species, and it actually makes our home unkept with its what? Web. And then it can be used for biological control of pests. Yes, you can use it, controls pest population by preying on insects. They feed on some insects and they have venomous, they are venomous in nature, that they can sting venoms and paralyze their prey and eventually take that. So if you look at the economic importance, some of them are also dangerous to both humans. The one that have high fatal venom. So that's it. Number one, if you are not getting this clear, I say it is source of silk for some of the species. Then number two, it makes our house unkept. It's a kind of stains wall with its web. And again, the venomous one might be deadly to both humans. All right. Then it is also used in biological research. If we no come bring spider, now you will go bring. So it's an economic importance. You don't need to fear saying it. It provides is a good specimen for research. So now with the right exam, now spider we go collect. We for carry you come inside hall, make people identify you. That one go better sha, but is a discreditation of humanity. Okay. Then what are the adaptive features? Remember, you can be more specific or you narrow down to the spider, or you can be more generalized. So, but let me be more specific. There is spinnerets for web making. Spinnerets. So I've mentioned what it uses for making web. Now spinneret in the use to make that cobweb. Then we see venomous fangs for paralyzing prey. So it has venomous fangs, like I told you, some of them are venomous, deadly. Then it also camouflage. The body camouflages to conceal its existence. So camouflage coloration. As you dey watch am so it's very very brownish. You hardly notice that the spider is around if it is in a dark place, because the brown color, the dull color makes it remain undetected. Okay. Then in addition, you can still say presence of 8 walking legs. Do you get that now? So these are the adaptive. Then presence of exoskeleton for protection. Then what's the habitat? Never you say terrestrial. You say corners of the building, under rocks, tree barks, and bushes. You can also find it at what? You can find spider at the crevice, the edges of the building. Okay. Then is more of carnivorous because it preys on some insects and eats them. So the mode of feeding should be more like carnivorous. Now, what are the control measures from the bad effects of this specimen being spider? Number one, removal of webs and cleaning the crevice. So the crevices should be cleaned. Now, use of spider repellents. You have to seal cracks in the wall. If there is any crack, you seal it very well. It will help to control this. Now, what is the type of metamorphosis? I'm not too sure, but I think spider will undergo incomplete metamorphosis. It should move from egg to nymph, nymph to adult. Okay. Now we go to the next specimen, specimen C, pride of Barbados. It looks similar with flame of the forest or the flamboyant flower. So this pride of Barbados is actually a reproductive system. Some might say is organ, but flower should be a reproductive system, because inside that you have now the male, that's androzoom, the female, the gynozoom, and the different other organs. You can now see tissues and so on and so forth. So this, as you're seeing, is very brightly colored, very shiny, it's attractive. That's the most pronounced part of the plant you will see. So where is this taking us to? What should be the agent of pollination here? This is insect pollinated flower, meaning entomophilous flower. So entomophilous flowers are flowers that are pollinated by insects. Good example is pride of what? Barbados. Why? Because of the brightly colored petals which attracts insects. You know, very bright coloration. In human species, females act to be too colorful. You know, you'll be seeing petals there. Maybe I'll call it red, but when an average woman comes in, it tells you ox blood, pepper red. Share you get. For me, a red colored, or I rather say brightly colored now. And now anything you want put, may you put. But just remember that when girls apply this colorful nature, they want to attract, they want to announce their presence so that they don't remain concealed. Flower need to be pronounced. Flowers need to be announced. Why? So that insects will see it and come and pollinate it. Nobody hides the light. Okay. So this is introducing you to the adaptive features of this specimen. That is what helps it to survive. At least brightly colored petal to attract insects. What will insects do when attracted? To pollinate it. And this is why it is called entomophilous flower. So you might be asked, what type of flower is this? You can just say entomophilous. That's what type of flower based on the agent of pollination. you simply say entomophilous. Reasons: one, brightly colored petals to attract insects. Two, it is conspicuous. It is not tiny and small. Just like you can see the flower of maize, very tiny, or flower of some grass species, you can't see them. They are hidden. But this one is conspicuous. Then again, it produces nectar, nectar that attracts insects for pollination. You get that now? You go get wetin go bring us come to you. So as this channel get something where you dey come where you dey come you suck and get better, so make sure you try pollinate us before leaving us. So this flower you dey see, so these two of them, dem get nectar wey dey sweet, wey dey pepper no be pepper abeg, wey dey sweet pass indomie, you know what I mean, to the insects. As they come suck, as they are sucking, what happens? They will help transfer pollen grain from anther to stigma. So as we don't come to suck cancers now, we dey give you, try to pollinate us here by sharing our videos. Okay, now we have listed the features that makes it an insect pollinated flower. They might ask us, what type of ovary is present? The type of ovary present in this pride of Barbados flower is superior ovary, meaning ovary born on top of the receptacle. And superior ovary is usually by hypogynous flowers. So since the ovary is superior, the type of flower is hypogynous. And again, it is also a perfect flower. Why do we call it perfect flower? Because it possesses both male and the female parts. A perfect flower is a flower that have both the androsome and the gynosome, meaning one person will get both the other gbege and the other gbege. I no talk anything, no, but you know they for human beings, we are not hermaphrodites. Okay, so it is bisexual flower also. I'm just giving you different names depending on how the question comes. If they say type of flower based on agent of pollination, you say entomophilous, because entomology is the study of insects. So entomophilous, insect loving. Imagine that. Then when they tell you classify based on the relation of the position of the ovary and other floral parts, you say it is hypogynous flower. What type of ovary? You say it is superior. Superior doesn't mean quality material here. Oh, make you clear your ear well. Oh. Superior here means something on top in biology. So superior ovary meaning ovary born on top of the receptacle. So if the ovary, if this is the receptacle and the ovary is on top, every other part will originate below it. And hypogynous, hypo means below. Gyn is the gynosome. The female part of a flower is called gynosome. Remember, gynecology is the study of the female reproductive. So anything gyn, gyn, is talking about female. So when we say hypogynous, meaning below womanous, below female gynous, I don't know, below the ovary. But the other type of flower is now epigynous. When it is on top of the ovary will be embedded inside the receptacle. So for epigynous flowers, they usually have what we call what? Inferior ovary. Inferior, no be fake. Inferior here stands for wetin dey inside. Wetin dey inside. Wetin dey on top or wetin dey below na inferior. On top na superior. Here, superior view. If you view me like this, inferior view, superior view. So hypogynous flower have superior ovary, while epigynous, epi is on top of female, which is on top of the ovary. The female part of flower includes the ovary mainly, the style and the stigma. So when the floral leaves, the petal, the sepal are born on top of the ovary, we call it what? Epigynous, meaning the floral parts are on top of the ovary. Share you dey get? Please subscribe. Let's keep moving. I've described this to an extent. Let's look at the scientific name. I can't recall scientific name, or maybe it's something like Pucherima. Species Pucherima. I'll write it down on the screen, but if I don't, see me in the comment section, I beg. The phylum, of course, is Tracheophyta. Tracheophyte. Why? Because it is a vascular plant. It has both xylem and phloem, and hence we call it tracheophyte. It has effective conducting tissue. All right. Now remember, it is also a legume. It produces flower, hence we can call it angiosperm. The specific part of tracheophyte it is angiosperm, and then the type of fruit it produces is a legume. You might be told to compare the type of fruits from specimen D, that's Pride of Barbados, if I'm right, with the orange which is provided and any other fleshy fruit. Remember that the fruit produced by Pride of Barbados is dry dehiscent fruit. Okay, dry dehiscent fruit, and the particular dry dehiscent fruit is legume because it has two lines of what splits. All right, so we now move on. What are the economic importance of this Pride of Barbados? You and I know it is used as ornamental plants for beautification. Most of our homes, our streets have these flowers as sign of beautification. And then, from my own understanding, some of these species of Pride of Barbados have thorns, so which offers protection from lizards. When you plant it around your fence, lizards cannot penetrate. Okay. Now, what are the adaptive features? I've mentioned those things. That is what enables it survive. Brightly colored flowers to attract pollinators. That's brightly colored petals to attract pollinators. Okay. Then production of nectar. Then it is conspicuous so that it can be seen easily. Then, of course, is autotrophic. Unless I forget, some of these Pride of Barbados, the sepals. Remember, sepals supposed to be green. In human being, we see men as the sepals, women as the petals, meaning they are the one that pronounce their present. But men also try to show, but small, maybe the amount of cash where you get for pockets, that is man for you. So what I want yarn you here, sepals are greenish, but petals are brightly colored. But this Pride of Barbados sometimes might be petaloid. Say petaloid. 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 Petaloid, meaning a petaloid is a sepal that is brightly colored like petal. So the petaloid nature of the Pride of Barbados is also to make what? Is also to adapt it as an entomophilous flower, meaning it is also part of the features that makes it an insect pollinated flower. So it says sepals are petaloid. Did you hear the English? Sepals are petaloid, meaning the sepals are petal like, that the sepals look like petals. How do we say that sepals look like petals? When sepals are brightly colored, sepals are not supposed to be brightly colored. Okay, so that's it. We now move on. I've told you that the type of fruit produced by this is a legume. And then what's your reason? It is a dry dehiscent fruit that splits open along what? Two lines. Like if you get your granite, that one where them fry with sand, no be the granite seed though. You need to open the two lines. So granite is also a legume because it has two lines of what? Split. Now we have to look at the next specimen. The next specimen is bean seed. Bean seed says scientific name of it something vulgaris, and then the tracheophyte also, and then also that's where the phylum is tracheophyte because it has a well pronounced vascular tissue. Okay, what are the economic importance of this particular bean seed? Of course, it is rich source of protein for humans. It is used in crop rotation to fix nitrogen. Yes, why? Because legumes, the root nodules of legumes, we have some nitrogen fixing bacteria that reside at the root nodules, the root nodes, I don't know, at the root nodes of leguminous plants, and they help to convert nitrogen into absorbable form by the plant, and that's what we call nitrogen fixation. So to convert nitrogen into absorbable form so that plants can get them, that is what we mean by nitrogen fixation. So it is used in crop rotation to fix nitrogen. It helps in nitrogen fixation. Then it is source of income to the farmers. If you get a lot of beans, you sell and make your money. Do you eat beans? I know some people will tell you it worries them, but that one concern you. What are the adaptive features of it? It has hard seed coat for protection, then cotyledon, store food for germination, then dormancy for survival unfavorable, that is for surviving unfavorable condition. This one is not, if the question says observable features, list the adaptive features that are observable. Don't say this dormancy to survive unfavorable condition. You are not seeing a structure there. Okay, this is a behavioral adaptation. But when they say structural, you mention like hard seed coat for protection, cotyledon for storage of food. You are seeing the cotyledon. Then is it a monocot or a dicot? It is dicotyledonous what? Seed. It is dicotyledonous because it has two seed leaf. Then what type of germination is observed in that bean seed? Epigal germination. Epi on top. During germination, the cotyledons are carried above the soil, above epi. Yeah. But when the cotyledon remain down, hypo, when the cotyledons remain down the soil, we call it hypogea. But the type that this particular bean undergoes is what? Epigal germination. In the case of epigal germination, the hypocotyl grows faster than the epicotyl. This is going to be the story of another day. So make we now prepare. They are going to tell you to compare between orange and this bean seed, possibly. Why? To differentiate between fruits and seeds. Fruits and seed. This bean seed is a seed, while the orange is a fruit. Don't know if we have other fruits provided, but just get ready for this one. Where I remember now, fruits and seeds. At least if you look well, see them here now, fruits and seed. The seed has only one scale, which is the micropyle, while seed have two scales, which are the remnant of style and the fruit stalk. That's another difference. Okay, that's a clear difference. Then the fruits houses the seeds. Of course, seeds are found inside fruits. Have I made myself clear? Then the fruit wall is called pericarp, while the seed coat is called tester. So what protects the specimen, whatever is the tester? So you can say presence of seed coat in bean, absence of seed coat in orange. Okay, presence of one scale in the bean seed, two scales in what? The orange fruit. So orange is formed from the entire ovary, while this particular bean seed is formed from the oval of a flower after fertilization. Okay, then we move on. The habitat of Pride of Barbados, of course, farmland and gardens now, even our streets and homes. We use it as ornamental plant. Then it is autotrophic because it is also photosynthetic. It produces its own food. Now, we move on to, okay, I'm going back. Imagine me. Okay. Bean seed is still autotrophic. Then we have butterfly. Wow, what a beautiful. God is wonderful by making this. You see this design, very colorful. Okay, butterfly is of different species, but I think the adult is something fanciful you admire. Okay, what's the scientific name? The scientific name is, I don't know. I think there are many species of butterfly, of course, but papilio is one. Yeah, papilio. Can't That's what I usually use to remember papilio something something. Then the phylum is Arthropoda. The class is still what? Insecta. Now, what's the order? That one day my brain were Lepidoptera. Lepidoptera is the order. It possesses scaled wing and undergoes complete metamorphosis. So it's a Lepidoptera. What are the economic importance of butterfly? It aids in pollination, is agent of pollination that pollinates specimen, whatever, referring to Pride of Barbados. Then it enhances biodiversity and aesthetics. That is source, it is source of biological study. This one is when you don't know what to say again. It is source of biological study. Remember, it is used in beautification. Butterflies are very nice to watch. It can be preserved and sold in collections, in scientific collections or biodiversity collections. Now, we also look at the economic importance is that the larva is the deadliest thing. The adult is harmless, but the larva is called caterpillar. So the larva of that particular specimen called butterfly, we call it caterpillar, all right? And the larva stage of housefly is called maggot. Maggot. While the larva stage of butterfly is called what? Caterpillar. Now, if you be farmer and you hear caterpillar, you know what you go do for your crops now. So they fit tell you the economic importance of the larva stage of that specimen. It is possible they leave the specimen and ask you question around what is connected to the specimen. In the be like that. So sometimes they will bring feather. They now ask you what's the class of the animal that have the feather. You see am now. So you just get ready in case they try to tell us that. Now we look at adaptive features of butterfly. Long proboscis for sucking nectar. So what makes it suitable as an agent of pollination? At least it has long proboscis. Proboscis is the mouth part for sucking nectar, while the mouth part in a housefly is sponging mouth part, like licking around, feeding on liquids. But this one is for sucking nectar, proboscis, just like mosquito also have proboscis. Now it also have colorful wings for attracting mates and camouflage. Imagine that. You know, apart from humans, it is the males that show body. Me, I dey far, come to me, babe, I get swag. But for human being, it can become now females where they do showcasing in color. So just know this in biology. Any organism that have bright coloration to attract opposite sex is usually the male. So it must display, I am okay, I'm attractive, babe, come, I can handle you. So that what will be effective? Reproduction. So these things are all designed to ensure effective what? Reproduction. Okay. Then it also have compound eyes for detecting movement. Remember, don't forget a pair of antenna as a tactile organ for sensation. Pair of jointed legs, 3 pairs of jointed legs for walking, 3 pairs of jointed legs for walking. Presence of exoskeleton for protection, whether you like it or not. Presence of wings for flight. Yeah, that's for butterfly. These are also the adaptive what features. Now, what are the control measures? But before then, what's the mode of feeding? Siphoning. Is kind of siphoning nectar mostly. And then the control measures is the control measure is just normal for the caterpillar. You use insecticide or you use manual hand to pick them. You use biological control like the caterpillar. You can introduce birds, they will feed on this caterpillar, they enjoy it so much. Even lizards and other reptiles, when they see this caterpillar or the insects themselves, they will eat it up. So if it is constituting noise and in your farm, you do what? You control it by using biological. Biological means don't use any chemical, rather introduce another organism, another biological agent to attack it and eventually eliminate it. Okay, just like introducing lion in the midst of a goat. When goats are overpopulated, if you use lion now to clear them, that is biological control. But if you use gun shoot them, use chemical, that one is no more biological. All right. Then I said use biological control, then manual removal of the larva from crops. You use netting in greenhouse. Like if you use your greenhouse, you have to use nets to prevent them from entering. Now, what type of metamorphosis is observed in butterfly? The type of metamorphosis is complete metamorphosis. It moves from egg to larva, larva to pupa, pupa to adult. We are going to face grasshopper now. I believe that should be the next. Okay, the next one is crayfish. I say the type of metamorphosis in butterfly is complete metamorphosis. Remember that the other is Lepidoptera. The class is Insecta. Then we go to crayfish. Crayfish, where the answer fish, where no be fish. Waiting be that one. Ha, na cray meat, na lie. Crayfish is an arthropod. Crayfish belongs to the class called crustaceans, the aquatic arthropods, okay? And the order is Decapoda. Decapoda. Deca means 10. 10. It has 10 walking legs. 5 the other side, 5 the other side. The first pairs are equipped with something like scissors. We call them the pincers. So they use it for fence and defense. Imagine. So that's the wonders of a creature. So what did I tell you is the phylum of crayfish, Arthropoda. What's the class? Crustacea. And now what's the order? Decapoda. Reason, it has 10 legs, 5 pairs of appendages, characteristics of decapods. What are the economic importance? I fit tell you that one. you fit chop something special without putting crayfish. It's a very nice seasoning agent, and I thank God say if you no get money to put meat or put fish, crayfish dey there, fish don enter am. Whether I teach you say crayfish no be fish, that one concern me. What matter be say you don put fish even though it is crayfish. Now make we just calm down, look at the economic importance. It is used, is a source of protein to man. It is edible as source of protein, and it is used for preparing other special what delicacies. Let me use that word. Then a kind of seasoning agent. It is also used in ecological study, and it is also an indicator of clean, fresh water environment. Imagine say if they tell you say if you see living thing inside water, make you no drink that water. Na lie o. Some organisms are bioindicators showing that this water is healthy enough for you to drink it. Okay, but some organisms are also red alert. Abeg, run away from that water. For example, if you see, I think bloodworm and why am I forgetting this? There are two of them that are indicative that this water is heavily polluted. May you avoid them. So, but some species of the crustaceans, seeing them in some water body is telling you that this water is a bit healthy and good for drinking. So they are indicators of clean, fresh water habitat. Looking at the crayfish, they are one of the bio indicators. Okay. Then, what are the adaptive features? Of course, presence of exoskeleton. Do you get me now? Presence of exoskeleton for what? For protection. Then also presence of pincers. Like I told you, the first digits or the first working legs are modified as pincers for offense and what? Defense. For grasping prey and also defending themselves. Then presence of gills for underwater breathing. They breathe underwater. They got gills also. Then, like I told you, had exoskeleton. I think they have also carapace. Carapace is also one of their feature. Remember, crab is in the same group with crustaceans. So this carapace offers extra protection to mechanical damage. What's the habitat of crayfish? Freshwater streams, ponds, and rivers. What's the mode of feeding? It is more of omnivorous and also scavenging. They are scavengers. Then what are the control measures? I don't think we need anything to control. It's not a problem to us. We cannot remove them. Now, what type of metamorphosis? I wouldn't know if you undergoes metamorphosis, but if you do, you should. It's going to be incomplete metamorphosis. Yeah, incomplete metamorphosis. May we go jump to grasshopper. We have met the insects that also have incomplete metamorphosis. Grasshopper, to hop, to jump from one grass to another. So we have different species of grasshopper, but I think the most common one by the scientific name is Zonocerus variegatus. Zonocerus variegatus. And what's the phylum? Arthropoda also. What's the class? Insecta. Now, what's the order? Orthoptera. It belongs in the same order with crickets, I guess. Orthoptera, they were able to produce noise or sound with their wings, and they have strong hind limbs, limbs for leaping, for jumping, that enables them to hop from one grass to another. Now, what's the chewing mouth part? What's the mouth part? Sorry, it has chewing mouth part. Remember, butterfly have sucking mouth parts, the proboscis. Now, housefly have sponging mouth parts. These are feeding adaptations of the specimen. Okay. Then, what are the economic importance? Major crop pests. Of course, they are major crop pests. They are used in biological study. Can be source of protein in some cultures. What? Okay, sorry. But over here, we don't eat grasshopper. And I remember when we still dey small, we dey school, we dey go hunt for grasshopper. You follow do that type of thing. You go feed, dey hunt different grasshopper, catch am. So maybe it is used for sports and entertainment by children, but it depends if the marker or the exam body will consider this. But I remember us doing that. When you catch one, you tie it and now hold it. Some of them are beautiful to watch. You can now play. You now throw it away, it flies, you now still draw it back without your thread. Okay, maybe a source of sport for children. We go hunting for that. But may you know write this one. I don't know if your marker na the Ajabota child now where they inside door. You where they hear me now, I don't think you played like that. But if you do, welcome to the Ancient of the days. Now we look at the adaptive features: strong hind limb, that's strong hind legs for leaping, camouflage coloration, that is color blending, color blending. Green grasshopper in green grass, we mostly find it that way. A grasshopper green in green grass, so you cannot notice is what present. Then it has also strong mandible for chewing. I told you, strong mandible for chewing. These are the adaptive features. These one are narrowed down to grasshopper. But remember, adaptive features, you can still remember pair of antenna for sensation of touch, pair of exoskeleton for protection, pair of wings for flight when necessary. Then the number one is strong hind legs for leaping. That makes it the orthoptera, and then camouflage coloration in most of them. What's the habitat? Of course, the name grasshopper. Grasslands now, that's savanna, farmlands, and also bushes. These are the places you can find grasshopper. Now, what is the mode of feeding? Of course, herbivorous. They are herbivores. They feed on grasses. Now, what are the control measures to this? Use of insecticide, the manual collection and destruction. Now, you can also use biological control and use predators. In biological control, you usually use predator-prey relationship. You introduce the predator of that particular thing so that it will prey on it and eliminate it eventually. What type of metamorphosis? I said it earlier. Grasshopper have what? Incomplete metamorphosis. It moves from egg to nymph, nymph to what? Adult. There is no larva, there is no pupa. They skip it entirely. All right. We now remember, you'll be relating all these specimens. I've told you all that. We now go to the anatomy. We look at the humerus. Humerus for mammals. So humerus is the upper arm bone. Then you might be asked, what are the two bones that forms joint with the humerus? Any two bone that forms joint with the humerus, we call the scapula, call the radius and ulna for humerus. Now, remember, there will be a clear difference between humerus and the femur. The humerus have a head that is what? Most times the neck is not pronounced, that articulates with the glenoid cavity of the what? Humerus. But the femur don't have it. Then, if you come down, there will be trochlear notch or a notch below to articulate with the radius and ulna. This is absent in that of femur, but they are all both long bones. Both femur and humerus are all long bones with two heads, two growing heads. The distal head, the proximal head and the distal head. If you have a bone, that head that is directly attached to your body, we call it proximal head. The head that moves further away from your body, we call it distal head. So both of them are long bones and they have bone marrow, so they are specialized in production of blood cells. Okay, then presence of shaft, presence of two heads. These are observable features of both femur and the humerus. Okay, like I've told you, for humerus, scapula, and then radius and ulna, these are the two bones that can articulate, that can form joints with them. Okay, you might be told to draw and label the humerus. Join my live stream to see the drawing of all these specimens. You are at the right place, my dear. Don't forget, your job is just to subscribe. When you subscribe, when we come live, you will be notified. Or remember, you can get me with +234 7065 166 217. If you're enjoying this, please get down and subscribe. Now, they might ask us the phylum to which the organism that possesses both the femur and the humerus belong. The phylum is Chordata. Yes, it's obvious because it's a vertebrate. Most vertebrates belong to this. Do you get me now? So Chordata is the name. Why? Why do they belong to chordates? They have a notochord. Then what is the class? Of course, mammal. It is enough to identify as mammal, but it is not enough for you to know it's from rabbit. Yeah. Then what's the order? Lagomorpha. Lagomorpha. Don't call rabbit, although we don't have information that would distinguish it. That bone wouldn't distinguish it from bone. That bone alone wouldn't tell you that it's a lagomorpha. It is from the teeth that you know whether it's a lagomorpha or not. Lagomorph, those that have two pair of incisor, while the rodents have only one pair, but we cannot see that. Economic importance, It's a source of meat. Of course, it's not meat. You can grind the bones and use them as abrasive. It's used in anatomical study like we are doing now. Of course, you can also use it in domesticated research and equally in designs, right? Then the adaptive features is just to say strong, compact for movement, facilitates attachment for muscle, have a surface area for attachment of muscle, of course, and so on and so forth. Then it helps in the production of blood cells. Now we move over to next specimen. Other ones, please, we will discuss them in the live stream. Thank you for staying on until now. Your complaints and your compliments are welcome. Don't hide any of them from us. Remain majestic. Bye for now.